Hi, and welcome to another episode of Reasonable Measures. LinkedIn is a really interesting place where for years you can be posting content, getting feedback, asking questions, getting answers, and never actually talk to the person. And I'm really delighted to have our guest contributor today break that mold. So Pap and I were talking back and forth on LinkedIn, but I could have passed him on the street and not even known who he was. But now we've talked a couple of times and he's a great guy. So I'm Chris Buntel. I'm the one of the co-founders and chief IP officer of Tangibly. Pap, it's great to have you here with me. Maybe you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me. My name is Pape Dieng. I'm the IP director of the Wyss Center. And the Wyss Center is um, a research hub, a translational research hub, where we help startups in neurotechnologies.
Fantastic. It's great to have you here.
Thank
And
you.
the topic today is going to be a little bit different from what we normally do. It typically will have some trade secret topic or interesting new case development. But today I wanted it to be much more personal, just talking about your first year at the Institute and why you're interested in trade secrets and maybe what you've done so far and what you hope to accomplish going forward. So this is meant to be much more kind of personal experience based. How's it going after 1 year in Switzerland?
Oh, excellent, excellent. I'm very happy and very excited. The Wyss Center is a collaborative environment where we have scientists, clinicians, and researchers. So it's very exciting working with brilliant minds. And yeah, it has been very, very interesting. And I learned a lot of things because I come from the corporate world. So it's completely different. I mean, uh, really different from what I used to have in the corporate world. So I learned a lot of things, and one of the most important one are the culture. I realized that setting a culture in terms of IP, in terms of confidentiality, trade secret management is very important, and it takes a lot of interaction with research scientists to explain that. That's
And
the most
when you
important one.
joined when you joined a year or so ago, was there any culture at all, or like what when you came in the door on the first day, sort of what
Yeah.
kind of temperature check is there for
Uh,
intellectual property?
I remember before arriving that I was a bit stressed in this sense that I was asking myself, how am I going to talk with scientists coming from the academic world, and then try to explain them that they are in a collaborative environment, that's good. But at the same time, we need to protect, we need to keep confidential some results. So I was a bit afraid of mm, the way I'm going to handle it. I was going to handle it. So, but there were no position as an IP director before I joined the Wyss Center. So this was
Oh,
it
wow.
make it
You're
a
the
bit
first one.
complicated more for me. Um, but I realized that when I arrived, I realized that the scientists, the collaborators, they are skin in the game because they they are working for their own startups. So then finally, it was easy to explain them, and that it was in their interest to capture the value of the startup they're creating. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. And it's often difficult to translate. I kind of joke it's like translating from English to English. Like there's legal English and then there's R&D English or normal people English. And that's actually more difficult than people think because a lot of us who are trained on the legal side or on the IP side, we can talk to each other. Like I could talk to you about patents or trademarks or trade secrets, but to speak to researchers in a way that they understand and appreciate the value of what you're talking about is surprisingly challenging. I don't know if you've had the
Yeah.
same. experience.
Yeah, yeah, it's really challenging. I mean, uh, they are, I mean, they are brilliant minds, and you're like, okay, they're gonna understand, and they tell you, okay, Pop, I think I got it, and then you realize that they don't really got it. So you need to imagine some um, you need to come up with some example, concrete examples, so that they clearly understand why it's important. Just for example, sometimes they don't delimitate, what they can or cannot um, share. For example, also when they have NDAs that are signed, they're like, okay, I think we have a contract, then I can disclose everything of I have as results. So there's some tuning that need to be done, and this is why I talk a lot with my researchers, and it's all about talking, repeating things, and at the end they understand and they become kind of ambassadors, of the IP, they are allies, and they know it's in the interest. Yeah, really.
Well, and my experience is that universities and nonprofits are terrible at trade secrets. Like if they know anything about IP, it would be on patents and maybe trademarks, but trade secrets almost go against their DNA, where they've been raised to, since early in their career to publish and present and share and
Absolutely.
just be very open and excited about telling the world what a great researcher they are. And how do you kind of fight that, or how do you control that uh, in a way that's not like too offensive or too difficult on them or makes you look like the bad guy? Like, what's
Yeah.
your experience there?
Yeah, I'd say it's really challenging, and you say that it's in their DNA to publish. They want to share. I mean, clearly, and when you like, okay, guys, this you cannot share, you're the bad guy, clearly. So once again, I discuss a lot with them. Uh, and indeed, they know a lot about patent. This is the first thing they talk about when they meet me. But sometimes we are in a situation where having a patent filing is not the best thing to do. So then you try to introduce this trade secret management thing, and it's not easy. Um, at the Wyss Center, uh, it's I can discuss because I have contact with all the researchers at the Wyss Center. But as we in collaborative environment, and we work with universities, clinical partners, it's a bit difficult sometimes to have like this control with the other partners, which are also academic, even if they have their TTOs. So I interact a lot with the TTOs of the partners also, in order to help them understand that, I mean, publication is a good thing, but sometimes having something patent first, or something kept secret, I mean, the core value kept secret, is also maybe beneficial for them. As we're planning and we aim, the goal at the end is to have startups created with real impact, in people's life.
And
So it's
I
not
was going to
an
ask,
easy task.
yeah, it's not, it's tough work.
Really not.
And I was talking to a university recently in Singapore about how if you talk about trade secrets in the context of launching a startup, the conversation's a little bit easier. Like the researchers can see that there's a commercial entity that will be spun out, and maybe having a couple things secret or protecting the crown jewels as secrets instead of publishing, it's like they finally start to understand. But
Yeah.
if you're just talking about research in general, it's again very difficult.
Yeah, and there is also this point. I realize that it's not that. I mean, at the end, you will be facing investors, okay, and they can be, I mean, skeptical in the way that you have put in place a good trade secret management system, and that you have kept things secret, because they know that they these people evolve in a very collaborative environment. So that maybe I think this is why sometimes universities, they tend to go on this patent way of doing things. They patent so that they have some clear asset to show to the investors. But I think it's not impossible. I think it's not impossible. And at the Wyss Center, this is one of my goal. We're trying to put that in place because I mean, especially when it comes to AI-based innovation algorithms, you cannot always file a patent. It's not the good move to have. So, but I cannot. I I won't tell you that I have the solution yet, but I'm working on it, and we're trying to be pragmatic. We try to follow the value, to capture the high value, and to be like pragmatic. Yeah, this is the way we're doing it for now.
And have you launched any startups so far, or do you have any coming up reasonably soon where IP and maybe trade secrets are a part of the value that you're contributing?
Oh yeah, we have a startup that's spin out just recently, and
Hmm.
in the assignments of the IP, there were a part relative to the trade secret, to the know-how. But to be honest, it could have been more than this, and this is the work I'm trying to do right now for the next startup that will spin out from the Wyss Center,
Oh, that's
because
great.
it's important, really.
And well, even including it at all is better than a lot of universities. Like a lot of
Uh,
nonprofits universities don't even address trade secrets or maybe have one line in a contract or a deal document. So you're ahead of the curve already.
oh, good. That's good.
So keep improving.
Thanks. Yeah. Now it's really interesting, and I spoke with one of my university partner last week, and it seemed that they more and more integrating this trade secret aspect, and because he told me that they were working on it, so I'm happy to hear this kind of thing. I mean, and I means that it will ease the interaction with the university. You know, when you have some professors who want to publish, and sometimes it's really difficult to make them understand that there's something they need to keep secret. I mean, it's not in their DNA. So it's a hard work and a long journey to,
Yeah,
to
definitely.
convince them this way.
Well, and last
Yeah.
year, my personal favorite word of the year was outcome. And I really started using that word often. And this year, it's still only 5 months in, so I don't have a new favorite. I still like outcome, but at Tangibly, we often talk about there are 3 main outcomes, and the third one is actually really relevant to startups and research institutes, which is trade secrets allow you to demonstrate your value or enlarge or grow your IP portfolio. Because a lot of times, a startup has very few traditional forms of IP. Yeah, you might have one patent application, maybe two, three if you're lucky.
Right.
Yeah, a trademark or two. Maybe it's registered, maybe it's not. Uh, and that's about it. You're looking at five, maybe 10 assets if you're lucky. But if you include trade secrets, suddenly you have 20 assets or 50 assets or 100 assets. Now, they're mostly trade secrets, but still, if you're talking to a venture capitalist, an angel investor, a government funding agency, and say, we have a IP portfolio with 78 assets, you look really
That was
impressive. You look big and
absolutely
strong and investable compared to if you go in the same conversation saying, "Well, we have 3." It's just
absolutely,
it's a
Chris.
whole different
This is
conversation.
100. I think I would invite you to come and make some presentation at the Viz, because it's exactly what I think. Because it makes the valorization more easier at the end, and it is in their interest. So yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%, yeah, absolutely.
So, what are your goals coming up? Like in the next, in your second year, what do you hope to accomplish, or how do you know if you're successful going forward?
Oh, I think I will continue to work in the same direction. I think I will know that I'm successful when my scientists, my researchers come and see me and say, "Pop, I think we got something. Maybe we will not patent it, but can you help us to make this, keep this secret?" And I mean, this will be like the best reward I could have coming from them. Um, and I've seen this change coming because now they have like type of reasonable measures put in place. They have access control when they have their result. I mean, when I hear this kind of things, I'm really happy because we're talking about this. We're talking about, okay, we have some result. We may publish, but maybe we will not publish everything because we need to identify the core value and how we can exploit it later in our startups. And I think this will be one of my good rewards, my best rewards, you know.
Well,
It's not
it all
in terms of number of
yeah,
patents, you know. I'm not counting
mm,
the number of patents, but the behavior. I
sure.
mean, the way they behave. I
Yeah.
think it's the good point.
Well, and it's also a reflection on the training that you've provided. So, like, again, most researchers don't know anything about IP or certainly nothing about trade secrets. So, yeah, that day when they come in your office and say thank you, it really means you've been successful in teaching and educating them and getting them to at least think
Absolutely,
about IP and the value it can create.
exactly, absolutely, and that's the point. And it takes some time, but yeah. And as I said in the beginning, it's about a culture, setting a culture. And when you have it, and then things then become easier, and then you can have a good IP strategy to help them, and that's it. Yeah, really.
Fantastic. So we're almost out of time. Do you have any last minute words of advice for people watching the podcast or any good
Yeah,
reflections?
if I have some advice to give, I don't have a lot of advice, but I would say keep it simple. I think it's really important because when it's complicated for scientists, you know, I mean, um, when we with my startups, you see, they have a lot of decision to make. So when it becomes complicated, they get lost. So keep it simple, be pragmatic, and follow the value. I think this is the most important point. We need to follow the value and identify it so that we can capture it and valorize it in the best way. I would say that.
Fantastic. Well, keep it simple. And I hope to
Yeah.
see you in Switzerland. I'll have to find a
Oh
reason
yeah,
to
with
go out
pleasure,
and visit.
and we should do something together, Chris. Absolutely, absolutely.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for
Okay.
inviting me. Thank you, Chris.
Okay. Bye now.